Revelation 819. From the 20th of March 1939. Completion of the spiritual maturity. Protection. Everything spiritual must complete itself. It must be brought to the highest development, so to speak, and must develop to a degree of maturity in which it is worthy to unite with the eternal Godhead. In order to understand this, man must have already reached a certain spiritual level. He must have penetrated into spiritual truths and must have learned to understand the development of man, his task and his goal to such an extent that he now begins to suspect what God has destined his creatures to do from eternity. He will now want to give maturity to the spiritual in him with full zeal, and of his own accord, he will work on himself unceasingly to put his spirit into that state of perfection. But he will now also have to struggle with increased resistance, because precisely the existence of such a struggle is extraordinarily beneficial to the soul. The victory over temptations of all kinds, the asserting of oneself in all temptations, and last but not least, the surrendering to all trials, is a climbing from step to step in order to reach perfection. And the soul has to fight out this fight completely alone. Another spiritual being can never take the task from it or fulfill it on his behalf, but only always be helpful with assistance, if this assistance is consciously requested. Therefore, no soul can reach a degree of maturity through protection which does not belong to it. Rather, it must be fully active and completely fulfill the task set for it if it is then to receive the reward which is set for such striving. Eternal bliss in union with the Divine Father. Thus the spiritual entity in man, the soul, has certainly been burdened with the greatest responsibility, but it also has to expect the greatest reward. It has to do all the work in order to receive unspeakably glorious things in return, and it is undoubtedly exposed to great dangers in earthly life. Yet the grants of grace help to reduce and overcome these dangers so that the soul can very well fulfill the task given to it if it is its serious will and it is able to imagine the incomparable bliss. But otherwise it has no possibility to enter the eternal kingdom of peace, and it is the Father's decision from eternity that he wants to form his creatures into godlike beings, which one day shall rule the universe with him and in his will and continuously enjoy the highest bliss. Amen.